Women's reservation bill has been passed by the Lok Sabha with a whopping 454 MPs voting in favor of this legislation, which grants 33% reservation for women in the Lok Sabha and state assemblies across the country. What a historic moment certainly it is for women of India, as this legislation will finally see the light of the day. Tomorrow it will be taken up by the Rajya Sabha and then it will become a law. So, as we play that breaking news on NDTV, I am being joined by Ammiben Yagnik, Member of Parliament of the Congress Party. We also have Shazia Ilmi of the BJP joining me. We also have another guest from the Samajwadi Party. But first, a quick reaction from the women MP herself, Ammiben Yagnik. Historic day, a day to celebrate for one and all, not just the women of India.
Yes, a historic day. We have been waiting patiently for this, and I think we have given what the women of this country deserve, and that is a participation in the affairs of the country, in the governance structure of the country, in decision making, and to give them a dignity which they deserve immensely.
Yes, certainly. Women of India deserve better. They deserve political participation. And this is the only way gender inequalities can be bridged. All those issues that women have been facing can be addressed through policy when they are part of lawmaking, and they have to be in the Lok Sabha. So for 15 years, women will be part of the Lok Sabha, of course, but they have to wait a little longer. Sunil Prabhu is joining me. Sunil, what a day, what a day. You would have seen it in 2010 when it was passed by the Rajya Sabha. Finally, it has been passed by the Lok Sabha, and then perhaps tomorrow is the day when it will become a law. Go ahead, Sunil.
That's right. Of course, as we speak, the process is still on technically. But the that's the formal procedures. But technically, as you said, a historic day, and what a day to start in the new parliament to get a constitutional amendment with the more or less unanimous support, 454 votes in favor, only 2 members of parliament belonging to the AIMM, that is Mr. Owaisi's party, who have their reasons because they want Muslim minorities to be given representation and various other concerns that they have, and that's the reason for it. But definitely a historic moment, a great day for India's parliament to begin on, and of course, as we said, it's a long road ahead. This is a small baby step. Once the Lok Sabha passes it, it goes to the Rajya Sabha, and then of course the President will sign off. Once the commencement of the Act, we'll have to wait for the next census data to be released. Once that census data, and as you are well aware, the present census data hasn't started because of the COVID from 2021. So when it does take place, which will be after the 2024 elections, that process is over and the data is released, which could take a long period of time. We will then have to wait for the delimitation to be by law as well as by notification issued. It's a quasi-judicial process which will go across the country to engage in this entire exercise. And then, of course, finally they will decide on the seats that will be represented. As you saw today, politically, most political parties, for the first time, the Congress making a big change from 2010, saying that they would like to see OBC reservation for women, and that's become a new talking point for the opposition India Alliance, because that's been their focus, to have a caste census and then to give better representation for the OBCs in the real spirit. So it's definitely been, and if you saw today the speeches, even though there was political wrangling.
Since you're talking about the voting, which is still on, and yes, it has been passed, 454 for the legislation, which is the amendment of the constitution for ensuring 33% reservation for women. The Congress party and various parties which form the India bloc talked about OBC reservation within this 33%. But let's talk about the process. This is the first time that voting is taking place in the new parliament, in the new Lok Sabha. Were there some technical glitches as well, or how did the numbers actually flash?
Well, it's very simple. We must tell our viewers it's the new parliament. Technically, we should have been with the the new technical age, but you have to issue divisions. Each political party has to assign numbers to their members, and it requires the Lok Sabha Secretariat to issue divisions, which hasn't been done in the present case because of the short span and less time. Once that is done, then of course it will be done all electronically. If you recall, in the old parliament, there used to be also a lot of glitches that used to take place, even though there was a German company that was brought in and everything else. This time around, in the new parliament, they have taken care of these issues. But because of the fact that the divisions haven't been voted, it's being done by slips manually, and that is why it's taking a long process as we speak, and it still continues till, of course, it's finally over.
All right.